Very much. My name is Stefano Russo. I'm the Deputy Mayor of the City of Torino. I'm in charge of urban development and urban renewal projects of the city. And I am also professor in the Polytechnic of Torino, so that is my real job. And thank you very much to the Academy to select Torino, because Torino is the first Italian city that has been selected in the history of the prize, and so we are very happy to highlight to you which is the main highlights of the city. I apologize for my English because my pronunciation is typical Italian, so I have a very strong accent. And I know, so if I make some mistake in pronunciation, believe in me, I am in charge of improving it, but it's very hard for me, okay? I apologize. So, the presentation is organized in three sections. It's a very quick presentation, I hope so. I hope it will be not so boring. And the first one is to have an idea which is Torino City, which is located, which is the main figure and which is the main characteristics. Some history about the last 20 years of the history in terms of transformation, because in 2015 we will have the happy birthday of our master plan, because it has 20 years of drawing the plan. And the last one is the future, which is the future of the city, our development perspective, what we have to do to reach our target. So, some information about Torino. We are in the northwest Italy, and some of you visit Torino for ski, for tourists, or for congress. And Torino is located here, is at the cross between the Corridor 5, which is the high-speed European corridor, high-speed train, and the Corridor 24, which connects Rotterdam with Genoa. So it's very well in the cross section between two main European corridors, and this could be, and we will see, which is the opportunity about the future development. Some figure related to the characteristic of the city. Of course, it's a scheme, it's not an aerial view. And it is a population of 2.3 million in the metropolitan area, and 1 million inside the gray boundary, which is the municipality. And we have a surface of 130 square kilometers. And in terms of economics, we are one of the most developed district of Italy, and in particular our industrial past is very important in the industrial economy and in the Italian economy, not only at each level. Some history related, which is the major transformation, starting from 1980, in which we have the starting of the Fordist model of the city, entered in a strong structural crisis. For decades, from the beginning of until the 1980s, the city has been what we name one factory town. All the city just turn around the car factory, which is Fiat, now Fiat Chrysler. And for all these decades, the city grows, and the model of the city was really focused over such kind of monovocation of the city. At the end of 80s, like in the several places in the Europe, such kind of model entering crisis, and we have the starting of abandoned factory inside the city, and the change also in the philosophy of the production. We have had several important things. In 1982, the Lingotto factory, that is one of the most famous example of urban factory, closes. We have in the beginning of the appearance of the importance of the contemporary arts, which is one of the most important vocation in terms of inside the cultural activity of the city, with the opening of the Rivoli Castle Museum. And we have a strong, important project of reuse of such kind of industrial building developed by Renzo Piano architect with the Lingotto factory. We start to draw the first strategic plan of the metropolitan area at the middle of the 90s. And in 2006 we have the bigger event that changed not only the feature of the city, but also the habit of the people that have been the hosting of the 20 Olympic Winter Games. And we have a strong, important investment in order to restore the city and to change the face of the city, but also the Turin people that for decades only look to their city as a place where to work and sometimes to live, start to enjoy to stay inside the city. And all these changes belong to a very important also political phase. And in the 2011 we have a very, very big event related to the 150 of our unification process, because probably not a lot of people know that Torino has been the first Italian capital just before Rome, and the unification process in the middle of the 80s has been started from Torino. Some idea about what are being the, sorry, it's very, I use this. Some idea about what are the very big, important shutdown factory areas that we have inside the city that has been transformed since a problem towards an opportunity for the reuse and revocation of the city. The first example is the Nicotto factory, which is one of the most important factory of Fiat, the first one that has been abandoned, and now, just after a very important project of Renzo Piano, has a very important multi-purpose functioning system in which we have retail offices and exhibition and congress center. And other very important area in the north part of the city, which has been the so-called Ferriere, which is a steel and rubber industries, more than 1 million square meters of shutdown factory areas, has been totally renewed and transformed in a very important urban park and in a new technology and facilities for retail, for residential, after a very important investment in terms of restoration and especially from polluted sites. In 1995, as I said, the council of the city adopted the local plan, the master plan, which designed the philosophy of the transformation. And the philosophy of the transformation points very individuate three main axes of the city. The so-called, the first axis, which is the Spina Centrale, which is elongated along the traffic network, the railway network, which cross the city from the south to the north, which has been interested by a very big restoration process, and we will see some pictures later. The second axis, which is elongated along the Po River, which is the main river of the city. We have 5 rivers inside the municipality area. The main is the Po, and along the Po River we have the individuation of leisure access of the city. And the third is the Corso Marche, which is the center for public services at a metropolitan scale. So, very important in the urban transformation have been highlighted by the infrastructures, especially for the railway presence. As you can see, here we have the main railway, which is crossed from the south to the north, and we connect the industrial sites in the north with the industrial sites in the south. And just before the project of 1995, this has been a barrier which separates the city from the east and the west. And this is not only a physical barrier, but also a conceptual barrier which separates the two parts of the city. So the big project that we have drawn and developed is to put this X in a new way, and we cover totally. This is the previous situation of the main railway station of Porta Susa, and this is the present situation in terms of Porta Susa station, which is the high velocity train which connects this point with Milan Center, which is the other important city inside the northwest of Italy, in less than 40 minutes. And this changes totally also the perception of the people respect the Milan relationship. The other important axis is being represented by the university side. Sorry, a little bit back because I don't really explain very well what we do. All this axis has been totally covered. So we put all the railway 10 meters below, and we cover the railway axis in order to draw the Spina axis, to restore such kind of space, to remove such kind of barrier, and to use this axis like a motorway axis over the train. And this totally is a very good opportunity to connect the east where the west part. The second very important project is the metro line, the subway, which crosses in that direction towards the center, and the new Metropolitan Railway service, which is located in several past ancient stations. And the new axis is now related to the Porta Suda high-speed railway train, which connects this point with the center of Milan in, I said, less than 50 minutes, and with Rome in less than 4 hours by train, which is a totally different approach to expect the flight that we use for several years. This is the picture that I like, which has been the Porta Susa at the beginning of 2000, and now which is our situation in the Porta Susa railway station, which is elongated in the axis. The very important axis in terms of transformation and strategic vision has been represented by the knowledge and innovation axis. We have more than 100,000 students inside the city. We have two very important universities. One is the University of Torino, it's 70,000 students. The other is the Polytechnic of Torino, which is the technical university. It's very similar to the Technical University of Delft, which is a very good connection in terms of research, which is 30,000 students for a whole system of 100,000 students over 1 million inhabitants. So this has been branded like Torino University City, and all the urban transformation is now looking to this kind of opportunity in terms of urban opportunity for restoration of past industrial sites, especially for new locations for the universities, which are now in project or over past industrial sites, and especially for student housing, both in public property and private property, because most of our 20,000 students came outside from the region, so we have an immigration of students coming from outside, and we have more than 17,000 beds to be built until the next 5 years. So we have drawn a very big important project related to this kind of student housing. Some figure related to the knowledge and innovation, the university students. More than 10,000 students are coming from outside this country, from Italy. This is one of the best example reuse of past industrial sites for knowledge and innovation incubator R&D sector, which is the new location of the Polytechnic of Torino. As you can see, we are now still growing in the restoration processes. This is the OGR building. And of course, we use all this kind of philosophy, infrastructure, railway, to bring this new tool with the historical heritage of the city. As I said, we have been the first Italian capital. Our royal palaces and residences are being totally renewed and restored for touristic situation. And so we have, especially, this is the picture of the Venaria Royal Palace, which is designed as a model of Versailles Royal Palace in Florence, because the royal families of Italy belongs, is strictly connected with the royal families in France, the Savoyan. And coming back to the built asset, we reconvert more than 5 million square meters of industrial sites, and we have to reconvert now other 5 million over 10 million, which is the total area that we have to convert in the next year. The reuse of the built asset is not only for university, for enterprises, but also for cultural and exhibition spaces. And it's a very amazing situation, for instance, in that case, which is an exhibition about the history of Italy. To have a successful policy in terms of urban transformation is fundamental to bring the infrastructure, the strategy with the people, the social cohesion. So we use several actors, several actions, especially funded by the European funds in different places with different instruments in order to reach such kind of target. And therefore, for us, has been fundamental to share such kind of physical transformation with also the enjoying of the people, the public participation, the networking, which also is facilitated by the changing of the perspective of the city, respect the transformation, respect the one factory down of different years ago. So some figures very quickly about the future strategy. This is the map which highlights the different area under transformation with different purposes: industries, knowledge, innovation, university, student housing, and culture, which is the main urban transformation philosophy, and these are the location of the different places. So, knowledge, research, and innovation, several different sports science centers, the new architecture and design center, the health medical education, they are all projects that we are drawing over that previous map related to such kind of axis. The first axis is knowledge, research, and innovation in our strategic plan. And also to reuse for new purposes. This is a very famous palace project by Nervi architect, and we have now rethinking this palace to host the new public library and the architectural center of the Polytechnic of Torino. The second is to continue such kind of philosophy in terms of restore and renew the urban infrastructure, especially for the railway network. So we are now projecting the underground line number 2, and the so-called Variante 200, which is a project over 1 million of square meters of past industrial site to be totally renewed for residential, retail, and offices, and the health city and the new buildings and the new retail center over the Lincoln. And this is the axis in which we have to reuse such kind of ancient railway to locate a new subway line with a model which is very similar to the described before. So we reduce the depth with cover, and we use this axe like an urban axe with for bicycle and for an urban linear park. And the last one is related to the logistics and services. As I said, we are very well connected with the network, the national network, international network, especially for terms of railway. So we have to put in different area, different storage and logistics reuse of past industrial sites. Like in this case, for instance, for retail area, the policy is not to consume any green area. We use only brownfield, we use only existing buildings, and we think the philosophy of the strategy of the city using such kind of opportunity. So, knowledge, research and innovation, infrastructure and changeover opportunities, logistics and services is a very important new perspective for the strategy of development. Thank you, and I apologize for